Hi, my name is Ben Scott. I'm the founder of Scale Easy, and for the last 3 years, we've been helping people win new clients through their LinkedIn profiles. And I want to run you through today one of our clients, Tom. He had 82 people interested in just 90 days. So let's jump straight into this case study. So Tom is the co-founder of an accounting firm up in the north of England. In 82 days, he had 90 people interested in his offer. Now, for context, we don't send messages on Saturdays or Sundays. So this isn't even working days. In 90 pure days, we had 82 people raise their hand and say, Tom, I'm interested in your accounting offer. I'm going to show you exactly how we did it in this video. Okay, so you can see this review at the top of the screen there. If you want to pause it, read it, absolutely go for it. But let's get into the actual good stuff. So how do we do this? We did it by following the 3 pillars which we use with every single client. We start with the profile, we look at their content and the outreach as well. Now, these are not any aspects which have to be followed in a particular order. They are the 3 core pillars of having a really successful LinkedIn LinkedIn campaign. Reason I just said content early is because a lot of people shy away from the content, but the reality is it's a huge factor in building trust with your audience. And that's one of the main reasons that Tom had such a good campaign. Now, he's not famous. He's not necessarily a known person. Sorry, Tom. All of his campaign interactions were completely organic, as they are with all of our clients. So there's no fabricated stories here where we've had one good client and we've had great success. That's not the case. We've generated over 2 million impressions organically, but the real moneymaker comes from the DM. So let's start with his profile. So you can see Tom's profile here. Immediately, you'll notice it doesn't look like your average LinkedIn profile. Now, of course, a lot of people have done things like this, and it's brilliant they have, but most people's LinkedIn profiles still read like a CV. They don't have a company logo. Their profile photo might be outdated or unclear. Their banner might be blank or have their contact details. None of these factors make you look like a leader in your industry. So the first thing we do with every single client is get their profile into a point where they look like an authority, they look like an industry leader. Not only does that build authority, it builds trust. It shows people that you are serious. You're not just on LinkedIn networking, you're here to have a real impact. And that's something that people criminally overlook. So you can see the banner, the banner's all branded, clear. It's clear in who they help, helping founders get their finances sorted with a clear call to action, click, book an appointment to talk. Then you've got his profile photo, crystal clear, nice big smile. You can tell he's a friendly, approachable guy. There's nothing about this profile photo which could put you off speaking to him. And then the real key is the headline, what people see when you connect with them. Co-founder at Sorted Accounting, helping new and early stage founders get their finances sorted. Now, we're going to touch on this more later, but you can see in the headline already, we are being very clear about who we want to help and why. So the profile now is in a great spot. It's ready for outreach. It's ready for us to start sending connections. The next thing we did is we started to building a bit of a personal brand. Now you can see here, he is the co-founder of an accounting firm. I'm not an accountant. That's the first thing the line says. Okay. So what this post was is in essence kind of like an origin story on why they started the accountancy firm, right? So at no point was he saying, hey, I'm an accountant. He was saying, hey, I'm good at growing businesses. I'm good at running businesses. This is why we started our business, because when we did our last business, the accountancy firm didn't support us in the way we wanted. So straight away, there's a reason, there's a why, there's a core value here being shown to all of his connections. And he doesn't have thousands of connections. This was all done with probably under 1,000 connections, around 700 by the time we wrote this post. And you can see here, 99 likes, 6 comments. As far as LinkedIn engagement goes, I'm not sure if you're aware, that is brilliant engagement. That was over 10% of his network equivalent rather, liking his post, commenting his post, engaging with it. And that was because it wasn't some AI slot ChatGPT newsletter. This was an authentic post written by us, which got incredible traction. And what does traction do? It brings eyeballs onto your business, which really matter when building trust, when building authority, when getting people to recognize your name. Now we'll lead on to the actual outreach part. So let me bring you back to his headline, helping early stage founders get their finances sorted. Now, using the lovely tool called LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which by the way, most people don't use correctly, we were able to pull thousands of people in Manchester who have just started or owned their own business. So you can see here within 1 to 2 years in the Manchester region, there were 4,500 people, if I take your attention to the top right, who fitted our demographic. Now, what we don't look for is perfection with these lists, because LinkedIn unfortunately relies on people to correctly identify themselves. So what I say to everyone is if you can get 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 people to look like they will be a good prospect for your business, you've hit the nail on the head with the data. And this is exactly what happened. 90% of the people we messaged were relevant. The remaining 10% were founders of passion projects or podcasts or something where there's no revenue, so an accountant was out of the picture. And you can see here, at certain points of the campaign, we were getting up to 65% acceptance rates. So for every 150 connections we send a week, 80 to 100 were actually accepting that invite and welcoming Tom into their network. Now, this is important for two reasons. First, the more accepted connections you get, the quicker the results, because you can message more people in a short time frame. The second part is it builds his authority. If you can add 100 people to your profile every single week, within 10 weeks you're at 1,000. Within 2 years you're at 10,000 followers. You can see how quickly your network grows. But more importantly, every time you accept someone or someone accepts you, you then get access to their network. So it's a domino effect. Most of our client case studies are built around the first 3 months because there is incredible results that you have just from this data alone. But this literally tenfolds when you get access to everyone else's data. So we took this list, we have the content rolling, we have the profile all together. Now what do we do? Now I'm not going to reveal the messaging sequence because of course we have a business to run. But if you are curious about that, then of course you can get in touch. But what I would say is the messaging was revolved purely around the clients. Now you're watching this video, so there's a chance you're going through the course, or you've seen my profile and you know what I'm about. Always, always, always lead with value. There is absolutely no point of you messaging people, doing a blanket approach, pitching to them if your message isn't relevant. Now, everyone talks about AI, ChatGPT, Claude messaging. None of those messages, ever look authentic because they're just scraping. That's all they're doing. There's not a deep understanding of the pain points they face. So when someone scrapes your profile and say, "Hey, I noticed you went to, Oxford University for 3 years. How was it?" You know that's AI scraping that. But when someone says, "Hey, I know that founders in the first 1 to 2 years, 1 month can be amazing, and then the other month you've made a loss and you're not sure how that's happened. Would you be able to chat to me about how we fix that?" Suddenly the pain point becomes greater than the time for the call. So this resulted, like I said, that wasn't the exact messaging, by the way, but the messaging that we wrote for Tom resulted in 82 people raising their hand and saying, "Hey, I want to speak to you." Now, this, of course, translated into multiple clients, thousands in revenue, etc., etc. But that's the boring part. I want you to see how possible this is for yourself. So I would say if you want to know any more about what we do, you've got my website. You've got a link on this Loom video that you can click on and book a call directly with me, not with one of my team members, directly with me. We're reserving this for people watching this video. And I promise you, you will leave that call with a better understanding of how to run a LinkedIn campaign. If I don't feel like I can help you, but you can see we've got plenty of reviews. We've had so many people literally take their LinkedIn profiles from a dormant state, boring, bland CV into actually generating revenue for them. So if you want to know what that would look like for you, book a call using the link of this video.